Mario Maker 2 is a ridiculously awesome and fun game. There is so much content here that it seriously feels like the apex of 2D Mario. It's so fun that one unintentional side effect of it releasing is that it kind of incidentally killed the rest of the 2D Mario franchise. 2D Mario is kind of at a standstill right now, as we just got an incredibly awesome level creator that will basically allow us to make our own 2D Mario levels, and we keep seeing the limits of what we thought was possible in that level creator being broken every single day. So there's still so much we don't know about Mario Maker 2, still so many ideas yet to be created into levels, and it just kind of puts the rest of 2D Mario at a standstill. For as long as it's existed, the goal of the Super Mario Bros. 2D series has been to just simply get to the right side of the screen. However, with Mario Maker 2's release, it seems like future installments won't be able to just pass off Get Right as their main goal. There's going to have to be some sort of deeper meaning here, or different choices, different something or other, because if Nintendo just creates new Super Mario Bros. Switch, or a brand new 2D Mario that's pretty much the same as all the other ones, it's not going to sell nearly as well as it could, because there's already a level editor on the Switch that allows you to create your own 2D Mario games. And obviously, that would be pretty unfortunate for Nintendo, as 2D Mario has typically been one of their highest selling franchises. So how are they going to combat this problem? Well, hey guys, it's Thomas from the Switched Up. I'm not a developer, I don't work at Nintendo, but I've been a Nintendo fan my whole life, and here's what I would do if I was Nintendo trying to resurrect 2D Mario, the franchise that skyrocketed them to popularity in the first place. So yeah, here's why Mario Maker 2 killed 2D Mario and how Nintendo can fix the situation they've cornered themselves into. So first, I just want to briefly mention that there are going to be some people who say, oh, well, 2D Mario is not really dead, we need a Mario Maker 3. And while, yeah, there is some places they could go in a future Mario Maker installment, A, all that stuff, or most of that stuff, could be added in as DLC, and B, there is already so much in Mario Maker 2 that adding in stuff for a Mario Maker 3 wouldn't really feel like a true sequel to Mario Maker 2, because there's already so much here that this game is more than complete. There is enough stuff in Mario Maker 2, even without any potential future DLC, to last us an entire console's lifetime, and I feel like that's what Nintendo is going to do. So therefore, they're not going to make any more just get-right typical 2D Mario platformers. They're going to have to think outside the box and really make some changes to shake up the series. So what type of changes am I talking about? Well, let's get into that right now. Before we get into any radical gameplay changes, I do want to quickly talk about the graphical style, as in, for the first time since 2007, or whenever New Super Mario Bros. For the DS came out. Because we've had that same sort of graphical style for every single 2D Mario ever since New Super Mario Bros. DS, and while the resolution has been upgraded and the models have upgraded along with better hardware, the actual style itself has never changed. So in a future 2D Mario, Nintendo could either A, go with their own 3D world style that they showed off in Mario Maker 2, that sort of 2D, but the camera is tilted upwards a bit so you can actually see the ground you're walking on style. It's really unique for Mario. It's not unique for a 2D platformer, but it feels interesting enough in a Mario game that I think it could last an entire installment and not just one level theme in Super Mario Maker 2. On top of that, I would love Mario to kind of transition over to a sprite-based workflow as opposed to a tile-based workflow. So a tile-based workflow is what we have now. It's what allows us to have Mario Maker 2 in its entirety. I mean, like, Mario Maker 2, the entire thing is based in tiles. You drag stuff onto various tiles and you can play the level, but a sprite-based workflow is more like Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze or Ori and the Blind Forest, where there's not like repeating ground. You don't just see the same ground tile placed 10,000 times in a level. Everything is a asset made specifically for that situation, or a situation very similar, and it's a lot more it's a lot more personalized. The game feels like stuff is meant to be there, as opposed to the developers just dragged it in because they needed it to be there. I'll have some Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze gameplay right now, and I'll switch back to New Super Mario Bros. U right now. You can tell the difference. I'm not the most technical guy, so I can't really explain it, but everything is meant to be there, and yeah, it's just a sprite-based workflow, which is what they have in Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, would work so much better in a Mario aesthetic than a tile-based workflow, because even though that's a tile-based workflow is what we've had, I think, forever in the 2D Mario franchise, we have the ability to make our own tile-based Mario games now, so a sprite-based workflow would just be so much better. Anyway, let's quickly hop into the gameplay now. There's not too many gameplay variants. Obviously, we're shifting things up from just move to the right side of each level and progress on. The one main thing I would love to see is an open world 2D platformer. How does that even work? Well, there are a few games that have attempted something like this in the past. It's got to be done right, or else there's a ton of backtracking and it's really just not fun. But an open world 2D platformer could be incredible and be just what the 2D Mario series needs to catch up to the 3D counterparts, at least in terms of fun and sales in recent years. Because there's been so many 2D Mario games, there's been so many 2D Mario levels created in Mario Maker 2, that a larger 2D world, basically the entire game takes place in one world, or there are like multiple kingdoms, like Super Mario Odyssey, but there are way fewer of them, maybe only like 10 or so in the game. That sort of thing would be ridiculously neat and would 100% warrant a new 2D Mario, whereas right now if Nintendo were to make a new 2D Mario in the same sort of style, I'm sure people would just call them out as being cash hungry because they already gave us the tools to make it ourselves. So basically, just to explain this, a 2D open world is really a difficult thing to kind of wrap your head around. As I said, if it's not done right, it involves a lot of backtracking and is overall not fun. But some really cool example of this is Super Mario Endless Earth. Now, if you've never heard of this, I don't blame you. It's a ROM hack for New Super Mario Bros. On the DS. So, the oldest New Super Mario Bros. Game. It's a recent ROM hack for that. It came out this year, I believe. And it looks really, 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 really cool. So, it's developed by Mario Fanatic 64, who's done quite a few other New Super Mario Bros. DS ROM hacks. And it's basically, as I said, a open world 2D Mario. I've wanted to talk about this game for a while, but there's no real way for me to fit it in, so I'll just talk about it here. It looks really, really unique. I have not got a chance to play it yet, but it is on my playlist very, very soon. Essentially, all the footage you're seeing right now is from one main overworld that is, I think he said in the trailer, about the size of all the levels from any New Super Mario Bros. Game combined. So all the levels from New Super Mario Bros. DS combined, this Super Mario Bros. Endless Earth game is bigger than that all together. It's just all in one seamless world. Now, of course, there are various sub-areas that he calls dungeons. There's 8 of them, in fact, that all present side-scrolling challenges, more akin to what we've seen in typical Mario games, and I think that would be fine if Nintendo made an open-world 2D Mario. Obviously, you don't want to 100% forget where Mario came from, which is obviously that get-right formula, so including dungeons or boss battles, that sort of thing would be really unique. However, Super Mario Endless Earth really shines in its collectibles. There are these power stars to get, and they are hidden all over the map, which not only allows you and encourages you to explore when you're playing the game, but also they're adding in a new update where you kind of have to explore to unlock the dungeons. And overall, it seems like if one guy or one or two guys could make a game this unbelievably neat and this cool to look at on their own, then Nintendo could obviously do an incredible job if they gave this open world 2D Mario thing a swing, which I think would be very unique and definitely be a dope way to take the franchise, considering, once again, I don't know how many times I need to say it, but Mario Maker 2 basically killed 2D Mario now. However, have no fear, because if Nintendo doesn't do this open 2D world style, there are some other ways they could 100% keep 2D Mario fresh while still even using the same basic get right formula. One is lean 2D Mario more in towards a party game, while 3D Mario can be your fun Mario single player adventures. 2D Mario in recent years has been really focused towards like party sort of styles or atmospheres, which I like a lot more than sitting in your room on your own playing a 3D Mario game, because that's just kind of, I mean, it's fun because Mario's obviously fun, but I would rather be playing with friends. That's why I love 3D World so much, while a lot of other people think it's not the best 3D Mario game. However, if Nintendo fully embraced the multiplayer style for the 2D Mario games, that would be incredibly cool. They could do something sort of like Ultimate Chicken Horse. I don't know if you guys know what that game is. Basically, you kind of build the level along with your friends, and you want to make it hard enough that you think you can complete it, but difficult enough that your friends can't. If they made that sort of thing, obviously I don't know if that would be a full release, and obviously that's also a game concept already taken, but if they did that sort of like multiplayer hectic style of a new Super Mario Bros. Sort of thing, that would be really cool. I wouldn't really think that's a retail release. That would probably be like a $15 digital download, but once again, it would be another way to keep the 2D Mario franchise fresh. One final thing I can think of is if Nintendo really was stuck in their ways, which they have proven to be in the past, and didn't want to modify the 2D Mario formula at all, then the very least they can do, if they're going to keep the flagpole, keep the goal to be getting right on the screen every level over and over again, the least they could do is modify Mario's moveset. Last time they modified Mario's moveset substantially was New Super Mario Bros. DS, and what they did there is they added stuff such as the ground pound, the wall jump, all those sort of things that were in the 3D Mario games, they added over to the 2D games. So I think that that's sort of gonna happen again if they do update Mario's moveset. Therefore, we'll get stuff like the roll, which has been in the 3D World style of Super Mario Maker 2. Obviously, you could actually import pretty much all the 3D World moves over. The long jump, the like spin jump thing that's in the 3D World style of Mario Maker 2. All those things could be imported over, but on top of that, we could get stuff like the dive from Mario Odyssey. That would be sick. I talked about this all before in my Mario Odyssey in Super Mario Maker 2 video, so I'm not going to go into it here, but there are so many moves from Mario Odyssey, not even bringing over the possession feature of Cappy, that would be so unique in a 2D game atmosphere that I honestly would love to see it happen. So yeah, that's another thing I'd love them to do, to just update Mario's moveset. It wouldn't be as unique as the whole Super Mario Endless Earth thing, but updating Mario's moveset, hey, if the moveset is fun and the game is fun, you can't go wrong, even if it is the same thing we've seen over and over and over again. Anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. That is why Super Mario Maker 2 did in fact kill 2D Mario, and more importantly, how Nintendo can fix it going forward. Will Nintendo use any of these ideas? No, probably not. At the very least, they might update the moveset and update the graphical style, but those aren't really my ideas. That's kind of everyone's ideas. And yeah, I mean, this is more of just what I'd like to see them do, and what I think would be really cool and what I think would work, but Nintendo knows what they're doing for the most part, so I wouldn't really fear, I wouldn't really get nervous. The only thing I'd get nervous or upset at Nintendo for is if they announce the next 2D Mario and nothing's changed and it's New Super Mario Bros. Switch. But we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked the video, please actually like the video. It means a lot. Subscribing if you are new is, I don't know, very helpful as well, and there's a lot of videos coming up, so stay tuned for those. I'm Thomas from the Switch Stop, signing off. Peace.